a lot of these fans take liberties, as if you know them. It's like, you don't know them off the field. So why, like, it doesn't make any sense.
I think most people are talking about them off the pitch, on the pitch, sorry. But I just think that obviously you're getting an interview straight after the game.
That's another thing.
And the emotions are running high. I remember I done an interview. I swear to God, like my nan, she called me from Nigeria. It was Bayern Munich away. We got beat 5-1.
That's what I mean.
I went berserk on that interview. Like I was swearing, I couldn't contain myself. But that's what I'm saying. Arsenal Fan TV's reach is massive. It got to her in Nigeria.
Right. But Nigeria's where it's mad though. The man circulates things quick.
Fam, she called me. She's like, Aaron, what are you doing? She's like, that's not how you behave in public on TV. I'm like, Nanny, I'm so sorry. Do you know what I mean? So from there, I've had to kind of filter what I say. I can't go on there and talk and start swearing and
you got to think about the other people that are actually listening.
My daughters.
Your daughters.
You know what I'm saying?
Kids,
like
your work and all of that.
I can't have that. So for me, even though that, like, as I said, I've gone in there and I've just let them have it. It was just me being me. But I have to now look at the bigger picture, innit? So for me now, I take a little time out before I do my interview, compose myself, think about what I'm gonna say.
I feel like
I can do it.
I feel like certain games warrant a bit of madness though, because like the 5-1, these high it warrants a bit of madness.
No, it was insane. Like the journey there, the journey back, like it was insane. The amount of money you spend, like it's insane. Like, and then there's a lot of people that make money off football fans, like as well. It's like even to book tickets, like let's say we got Olympiacos in I was about to say Champions League. The Europa, yeah. As soon as that draw came out and you go on to look at flights,
oh man, they've boosted it up.
The price has really gone up. It's outrageous that they're allowed to do that.
Modern day,
and you're talking about 3-4 times what it was yesterday or before the draw was made. You know what I mean? So like we normally go with like a private company, but even then they charge you minimum £300. But you just pay the £300, go there. They bring you back on the same day as well.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? So for that, don't forget you're paying for the flipping flight, paying for hotel if you're staying overnight. If you're not, then it's just food. The ticket as well. It's your time. Don't forget, it's gonna kill a day or two of yours. Like, so all of those things, and then when you see in like abject performances on the pitch, you're like, what is really going on? Why have I done this to myself? And the amount of times I said I'm never doing this again, and then next week I'm looking at the flag. Do you know what I mean? So I think footballers have to understand is that we are going to be emotional because we don't have their funds. We're not getting £100,000 a week. You understand? So like the money that we are spending on you, please just give us a 7, 8 out of 10 performance every week. I swear to God, I wouldn't shout.
Or even like after the games, like you see, I remember like towards Wenger, the end of Wenger's reign and that. And even Emery, like certain bad performances, the players will just walk off the pitch. And it's like that riles up the fans as well. Even for me, like I always try and put myself in their shoes. And I'm like, if I'm like getting that amount of money and obviously I've played a bad game, I will go over to the fans or I'll at least applaud them and say, you know, like, thank you for coming, especially when it's the away games.
Yeah, a quick minute.
That's all it takes. It's just a little thing, just to say that you notice, that you acknowledge that they're there. It goes a long way, but I just think that some footballers they don't care.
But that's why I think so many people were so disgusted with Wenger at the end, because he should be telling them to do that. If you look at Arteta now, he comes along with the players and does it. Do you understand? No one can't go into the dressing room if they haven't clapped.
That's it.
And that's including the subs as well. Do you know what I'm saying? The ones that didn't even come on the pitch. So that's a mentality thing. That's Arteta's way of trying to make sure that it is one, the fans and the club. Whereas with Wenger, it was definitely the players, hierarchy, the fans. You know what I'm saying? It felt very distant. Now we feel a little bit closer to the players. You know what I mean? So I have to actually applaud Arteta for that. Because that's something that fans have been screaming that for ages.
That Klopp effect, that Guardiola effect.
Yeah,
you
do you know what I mean?
And speaking about like the players and that, how do you feel about the interactions that they have with the club? Do you know, when you think of certain players like, let's say Bellerin, Aubameyang, and how they interact like with social media, or they'll acknowledge certain fans, do you champion that, or do you rather, get off of that, just focus on what's going on the pitch? Like, we don't need you to be talking with us one-to-one. Like, how do you feel about that? I think
that's the way it was going, and social media is massive in the world. So I think it has to be done. Like my friends, if they watch this, they're gonna be busting up because Xhaka. Everyone knows I hated Xhaka.
I remember you hating Xhaka.
Flipping, I remember we lost and he was awful. And then afterwards, he posted a picture with his wife and they went out to dinner and I was living. I sent the picture around. I was like, look at this prick. Look what he's doing. Arsenal just got beat. And everyone's like, what, can't he eat dinner? I was like, but you know what I mean? Like, you have to be, like, when he posted that picture, I hadn't even got home yet from away. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, I'm like, if the performance is good, if you played alright, you can post whatever you want, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You can post whatever you like, but if your performances aren't where they should be, like, not to say that not posting is going to have an effect on your performance, but mentally, fans will be like, okay, he's off social media to kind of fix it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Lingard came off social media for this last year, people wouldn't really be going at him as much as they are. But because he's always on social media doing foolishness, dancing and all type of things, people are like, but you haven't scored all year, bro. What are you doing? Like, have you got the right to be doing that? Do you know what I mean? So for me, like, the interaction's good. I think it's necessary, but it needs to definitely be monitored in terms of do it at the right times.
Right.
If we got beat by Tottenham, I don't want to see no one on social media. I don't even want to see the green little bubble thing next to your name to say you was online. You know what I mean? I don't want to see anything.
No, but it's true though.
Be upset. I want to hear that you were crying.
Even when they, because sometimes they'll do, like, I'm sure if I scroll through it now, they'll say, disappointing, didn't get the result we wanted, but, you know, just glad for all the support, thanks for coming down, and we go again.
See, I don't mind that if they played decent.
Are you happy with them type of things, or you're just like, I don't want it?
I feel like that's just damage control, like, they don't actually do it, just writing it. You know what I mean?
I don't mind it to a point. It's like, if it was a game where, say the Chelsea game, we drew. And it's like, oh, we're not the point, whatever. But it's like,
but that was a good performance.
Yeah, but guess what I mean? So it's like, if it was a good performance and say we narrowly lost or we drew, I don't mind it, because then it's like I can't look at you and say you've done a madness.
Because they put up these apologies or whatever, but then the next game you're doing the same thing.
See, this is why I was annoyed against Xhaka and Mustafi, because they did it all the time and they were dead every game and they kept doing it. It was annoying. So I see Mustafi keep doing back on top. I said, I don't want to see that back on top again. I don't want to see it. It annoyed my soul.
Yeah.
Go on, Shegz, what was you
I was gonna say we lost to Wolves last season, and I think it was Rashford that put up one thing, and it was like, oh yeah, sorry, blah blah blah, got knocked out the FA Cup, and then we come play them the next week in the Premier League, and I'm like, bro. So what's the apology for? What's that?
And then they need to learn. They need to figure out timing.
It's the timing.
I feel like more managers need to actually be in like control of this stuff as well, because when I think of olden day managers, Fergie, like, he would have patterned everything.
You say that, but Fergie would have involved with it.
I feel like he would have.
Do you think?
In this day and age?
I don't think so.
In this day and age, he would have.
I don't think so.
No, he wouldn't have banned you from using social media, but he would have controlled like how you use it.
Fair.
Like, down to little things, to like what cars these guys were driving.
Remember, these players, this is their job, innit?
Yeah.
If you're playing bad on the pitch, you have no right to try and be coming to do foolishness on social media. Just like any normal job. It's not doing your job properly. You have no right to be doing anything apart from your work.
And don't forget, some of these players are brands now.
That is the thing as well. They've all got their logos and stuff.
Hopper's a massive brand. He's a massive brand. So to tell him you can't do social media, he's not going to have that. Adidas, who sponsor him, are not going to have that. All the other sponsors that he have are not going to have that. Do you understand? So yes, I think the manager might have to have control in terms of like, lads, we lost today. Don't see no post tonight. Do it in the morning or whatever. But I don't think Fergie could tell them no posts. I think it'll be impossible because of how big these players are individually now. Do you know what I mean?
They've all got their logos and all that things. They're a thing.
I don't know. Would you say Pogba's a bigger brand than David Beckham was when he was?
Nah.
No way.
Because he had Victoria as well. It was
Spice
a
Girls
joint thing. So it was Spice Girls plus Man United fans plus Captain of England. Nah, he was massive.
Put that Beckham into this time is madness.
Oh yeah, if you put Beckham in this time, he would clean up. He would clean up.
Mad.
Was it like Ronaldo's like the most followed person on Instagram? It'd be that.
200 mil.
Yeah, Beckham will be close to there.
Then this brings up the question, like, do managers actually even have power? Do managers have power? Because like, when I think about United, like, especially with like the Mourinho, Pogba, all that kind of stuff, like looking how the whole thing transpired is like Pogba is more important than Mourinho. Pogba had more power, more influence than Mourinho.
I think it's
and I feel like we've seen that. No, I'll give up a couple of examples. Like even still staying on Mourinho at Real Madrid. Them lot had more power than Chelsea players for a long time had more power than their managers as well. I think so. They could decide when the manager is leaving.
Yeah, but I think they're more valuable to the club. That's what I think the problem is. Is that when you're looking at Mourinho, for example, he stays at clubs 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Pogba, who's got a 4 or 5 year contract. They're gonna think, all right, Mourinho's at the door soon. Yeah. I got to appease Pogba more than I've got to appease Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of is a problem. But don't forget, it all stems from the board. If the board say to the manager, look, you've got free reign, do as you please, control them how you feel necessary. Yeah. Pogba probably would have been at the door ages ago. Do you know what I mean? And that would have been his discipline. When they gave that to Fergie, that's why he got shipped out. Yeah. That's why, and not only him, there was other players in Man United's team that their behaviour. What's the other guy? Meant to be a wonder kid. I think he's mixed race. No, he's a young.
The one that's Middlesbrough now.
Morrison. Again, his behaviour, fantastic footballer, but his behaviour didn't warrant him being at Man United. And Ferguson was allowed to discipline him and say, look, you're not allowed to be here no more. Do you understand? So leave. But I don't think managers now are getting that kind of backing because they're seen as short-term managers. Do you know what I'm saying?
They've given a lot of power. The clubs or whatever have given a lot of power to the players. Yeah. So you can even do the whole Ozil Emery thing. Because you've given Ozil this much money and know for a fact you can't get rid of him, you got to weigh up the options here. Is it Emery or is it Ozil? Because Emery tried to freeze him out, didn't work. Turned everyone against him. Ozil has too much power in that club. Certain players, you've given them too much power or too much money or too much thing that if you try and bring in a new manager in who wants to make a certain thing, if he's picked on this one and he's got too much, you ain't gonna do anything now. You've now ruined everything for everyone.
That's it. That's exactly it. And I think the clubs needs to sort that out, the hierarchy. As in your case, it will be Ed Woodward. Yeah. If he felt that Pogba was that disruptive to your team and he was that much of a bad influence, he has to then take the L and say, you know what, I can't afford for this to be happening at my club while I'm in charge. Get Pogba out now. Do you understand? Get your money for him, but get him out the club. But I think clubs are too scared to do that because of what he brings.
To lose that money.
It's commercially as well. Do you know what I mean? Like commercially, how much is Pogba bringing into Man United?
It's ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean? So
he's not even
can
playing.
you afford to? You know what I mean? But yeah, everyone's talking about him. Can you afford to lose somebody like that? I don't think Man United can at this precise moment. You understand? So
football's weird, man.
It's crazy, man.
It's a money game, isn't it?
It's a rich man's game now. It's turning into like how Formula 1 is, how golf is, tennis.
So I'm seeing like Ozil with his like shirts in like certain countries in Africa. It's like, oh, your reach is far.
massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
It's very far. It's very far. Just touching on the point that you said, you was talking about Lingard. And we do ask a lot of the people that come or guests that come on, like in terms of like mental health or mental illness. How do you feel about like that whole, how it's emerged now and everyone's aware and, you know, we must be aware, like, how do you feel about it? Do you think it's something that's needed in the game or?
Yeah, most definitely. I think there's a lot of, and I'm going to say men because I think men tend to not show their true feelings. We want to hide it and put this macho facade on, but it needs to be told that some of us are suffering, innit?
Yeah,
You get me? So it's a good thing that Lingard's come out and said what he said. And it's a good thing that maybe the FA are thinking of initiatives to kind of tackle that. And I think that it needs to be told in all sports. I just don't think it's touched on enough. Like even when I think back at rugby, it's only recently that someone's come out as gay.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And go through all of that.
You're doing your whole career and your whole personal life and not being able to be really who you want to be, you understand? So I don't think as someone coming out in football and said they're gay, like openly while they play, I don't think they have.
But law of averages says someone is definitely a bunch.
I was a ref.
Like
they don't really have that much.
So I say a lot of, I guarantee retirement, give it 2, 3, 4, 5 years afterwards. Someone, because the amount of people in this game, you can't tell me no one's gay.
There must be one, a few there. But no, it's a good point what you're saying in terms of like, as men, we do like to cover things up a lot, and we don't like to express ourselves. And having things like that, the initiatives that are being set up, like for us to talk and to, because look, we're all human beings at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And apart from football, obviously we all come together for football, but there's also other aspects or factors that, do you know what I mean, contribute to our life and, can affect us. And it's about talking about it, not just saying, let me just forget all about it and just focus on football. Sometimes it is good to talk about it. And if that means that we use platforms like this or, to discuss it, then so be it. Because like the last thing you want to hear is something happening, like tragically happening to certain man like Lingard or whatever. Look at like what happened to Gascoigne. Like, you know what I mean? If maybe we had more awareness, then would that have happened to Gascoigne?
Fashion, his brother.
It's
like he was
John
gay
Fashion,
and now.
yes.
Then he killed himself.
John Fashion and his brother. Look at that. Do you know what I mean? All these things that you forget about, and not even just about your sexuality, about race as well. Certain people, it's affected them deeply. It's a big thing that definitely we need to talk about more. I'm happy that we do talk about it a lot.
Well, the only bad thing about Lingard is that with going through it, that he was still posting on social media. It's true. So people are looking at it
do you know what I mean? It's true because you want to feel for him. It's like you
can't live his life.
No, he obviously can, but it's like. You're going for it, we want to, because like now you've given us something we can actually feel for you a bit more, but then you're still poor on the pitch.
It's like you're
still doing madness on your gram.
But then you see certain people that are suffering, and they, when they say that you're
maybe it's how he copes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like Robin Williams, like the actor. You know what I mean? Everyone was like, we did not see that coming. He's the funniest guy. But deep down, obviously, behind closed doors, he was suffering. And do you know what I mean? Maybe Lingard doing all of this, or what the post that he's putting up was kind of like a cry out for help, or
probably. But I think his age doesn't help him as well, because we can all talk about it. It's like obviously it could be his coping, and it's how he kind of vets his feelings out. Like he enjoys himself, and there's no issue with that. But I think the fact that he is, I want to say 27. And then and nothing wrong with his friend being his best mate being Rashford, but it's like you can forgive a 21, 22-year-old Rashford doing it, but then you've got Lingard who's pushing like nearing 30, and it's like all they're gonna see is like you're 27, so you're in your 20s, but they're saying you're near 30 though, and you're still young. Don't get me wrong, it's still whatever, but it's one of those things like they'll find something. It's like now you've got a kid, and it's like a whole thing. It's like, dude, you're not helping your image either. It's like don't get friends who you want, but it's like a 21, 22-year-old doing it and a 27-year-old doing it. It's different.
And what about, do you think as well, because like going back to like AFTV and like even like Claude, because Claude went through a lot of stuff as well. Do you think there should be support for fans as well? Because like you said, you lot go through so much stress, so much trauma, paying for flights, doing this, You got.
Now he had like some mental.
He was suffering a little bit. He took some time out.
What, through the Arsenal thing?
No, I think it's
before that, and he literally disappeared for people were like looking for him, like it was a whole thing.
Yeah, but okay, I don't even want to sound too mad because I know that mental health is a massive thing, but for a normal person who's going through mental health, you just have to go and seek help.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say.
I do not think that the club should be responsible for
the fans
mental health. That.
But maybe what the initiative could do is, because for me myself now, if I was suffering, I wouldn't even know where to seek help. That's me being honest, you know what I'm saying? So maybe like putting, just even like at half time, putting a little 1 minute video just talking about it, where you can find help, you know what I mean? Nothing too heavy. As I said, I don't think they should be fully supporting the supporters, but just trying to engage the communities, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true, because I think they do it on TV. What's that? They done that, the minute of silence or whatever.
Yeah,
put down everything and talk.
That's cool and all, but it's like people are not really gonna. You need to do like a constant thing, like a tannoy thing that happens at halftime, or like the personal clubs do like a post or a link, whatever. Just something more consistent rather than
that,
once.
Like, a couple weeks ago in the FA Cup games, like all the games started late. Well,
that was the whole. And I get that, but it's also it gives me the same vibes as the whole. What's the racism campaign?
Kick it out.
No, there's something else. They have one now, something about no colours. I don't know what it is. But one of the new ones they've got going about is like, we get the sentiment, but you don't really do much apart from posting this photo, and it's like you're not doing.
Yeah, it's like a little
anything. You just
exercise. It's nothing too in depth. Like, because I think even after the Suarez and Evra incident, Suarez was wearing the "Kick It Out of Racism" t-shirt, and it's like, should that really be happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's about how these companies or these people that set these things up engage the people who they're trying to attract, innit? So if it is the players, we don't, even us as fans, we don't need to see how they're engaging with the players, just to know that it's being done. If it's for the fans, obviously it's about engaging. Come here and that, even now that they're showing figures of fans getting arrested at stadiums for racism and blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously everyone wants that out of the game. Right? So show fans how to go about reporting it, what they should do if they hear it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need, there needs to be some type of guidance there for fans in order if they do hear it. Because luckily for me, I've never experienced that when I've been out in games. But it's not to say that it doesn't happen. It's not to say that another Arsenal fan who goes to the games hasn't experienced. When
I was a kid, but it was a Millwall game.
A Millwall game.
I was a kid. I was with my friends. Parents took us to, I think it was Millwall versus, I can't remember who it was, but
away as well.
No, because I live close to the Millwall Stadium, so it's like it was one of those games or whatever. I didn't know about it, but then my friend's dad, when he dropped me home, told my mum, and it was about how these like grown ass men were apparently trying to do some random shit, and it was like, oh, okay, I didn't know about it. Obviously, my mum told me later. Because she kept talking about how when you go to football games, be careful, because she keeps bringing that story up. It's like, I didn't know anything about it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, so I just feel like it's everywhere, but people are smart about it. So they're not going to be doing. You get the occasional idiot who will make it obvious with the throwing the bananas and the whole stuff. But then you've got the smart ones who will still do it, but they're just not going to get caught.
That's probably what's happening at Arsenal. I'm not to say that Arsenal fans are not racist, but it's not overtly racist. We, like, as I said, I've never heard anything about it, never seen it. And when you're looking at our figures, we're very low down in terms of people being arrested or apprehended for racism at our club. And I think it's because we've got probably a very diverse fan base that actually go to games. Like blacks, whites, Asians, everything. Everyone goes to games. Whereas you look at clubs like, let's say Burnley today, 99% of them are going to be white males.
Wasn't it like, what's his name? Lennon was like one of the first. Was like, oh, they got someone, a black player. It was like a whole thing when it was in Cuckoo came in. It was like oh wow.
So it's going to be different, and it's going to vary where you go. So.